Hi guys, and here we are again, and welcome to the second tutorial in my Jolly the Giraffe series. Now here's Jolly, got some attitude today with the arms all crossed, and this Jolly is done in traditional giraffe colours. Now you can do him in any colour you want, or her, and today we're going to do it in pink and white. Okay, so got my yarn, got my hook, got my scissors. I've got my contrast yarn to do as a running marker stitch. So we'll bring the pattern in and we'll have a look where we're going to start. So we're going to start at the head, and it says using contrast colour yarn we're going to start at the nose. So row 1, 6 single crochets into a magic circle and then place your running marker. Okay, so this is the contrast, this is the main, so we'll get rid of the main and we'll start at the nose with our contrast yarn, and we're going to start with a magic circle. Now if you've looked at the video on how to crochet on my channel, you will have probably had a practice at them. If you haven't, the link is down below in the description. Go across and have a look and have a practice, because they can be quite difficult. There is an act to them, but anyway, if you have watched it, we'll have a recap now. So an 8-inch tail, wrap it once around your pinky finger to give yourself some tension, then bring it backwards over the second finger and index finger twice. Okay, and then under the first loop, over the second loop, pick up a stitch, pick up your working yarn through the stitch, and there we have it. There's your first chain stitch or a locking stitch. Now always keep this tail to this side because we're going to crochet over both of those tails, and that makes the hole nicer and it makes it easier to draw it closed. Okay, so through the magic circle, pick up your working yarn through both loops. So there's your first single crochet, and we're going to do that 6 times according to the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A bit of wool up here. Okay, hold on to your work there and pull your tail to close your hole. There you go. Not too tight for now, because if you pull it too tight you can't get into this stitch here. And this is where we're going to use the marker stitch, marker yarn. So we want you to go between the working yarn and the hook and just wrap it around for now, and it'll become more evident later. So row 2. Row 2, increase in each stitch around, and you should have 12 stitches then. So through the first single crochet, because what is an increase? An increase is you're going to increase the number of stitches. If you're not sure how to do it, I have got a how-to video for increasing and decreasing. So into the same single crochet, they've got 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and we've got to do that 6 times. So if we started off with 6 single crochets and we're doing 2 into each one, well, my maths tells me that we should then have 12 single crochets. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now then, this running marker, if your tail, we're only ever going to move the top tail. If your tail's at the back, you pull it forward. If your tail's in the front, you take it back. Well, mine's at the back, so we're going to bring it forward. Okay, and then we're on to row 3. Row 3, single crochet in each stitch around. So you should have 12 single crochets. So I'm not going to skip this one. We'll count them as we go for now. 1, 2, 3, seeing as this is your first bit of crochet, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's row 3 finished. Row 4. Single crochet by 1 and increase. Now if you notice, these were in brackets, and if you'd looked at the special techniques you'll know why these are in brackets, because your pattern wants you to single crochet by 1 and increase, and then outside the brackets it tells you how many times you've got to do it. So that's the little sequence inside the brackets, and that's the amount of times you've got to do it. So single crochet by 1 and increase 6 times. Okay, so where's your yarn tail? At the front, so we're going to take it up and behind the hook in front of the working yarn. Now you can see this starting to shape already, look like a nose. So here we go, single crochet by 1, increase. So that's one little sequence that's inside the brackets, 3 stitches, and then you've got to do that 6 times. Single crochet by 1, increase. Bring some wool up, single crochet by 1, increase, single crochet by 1, increase, that's 5, and then your last one coming up, single crochet by 1, increase. There we go. Bring it back in. So I've done that 6 times. So row 5, single crochet in each stitch around, and you should have 18. So we'll count these as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now I'm not going to count through every single row like that because it's going to make the video just too long. So what I suggest, if it's going to be a row of just single crochets like that, or several rows of single crochets, what I'll do is I'll fade in and fade out and skip to the end. And what I suggest you do at that time is pause your video until you've caught up with me. I'll tell you when I'm going to do it, and then you can pause your video. Okay, so that's at the end of that row. 18 stitches. I wonder if I'm going to stop calling them sutures anytime soon. Row 6, single crochet by 2 and increase 6 times, and then we'll end it with 24. Okay, so tails at the front, so put it behind. As you can see, the circle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but because we're doing a row of just single crochets in between, it's shaping it into the shape of a nose. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, bring some wool up, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, and the last one, 1, 2, increase, and there we have 24 sutures. We just check. Stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There we go. In my other life, you know, I used to be a theatre sister, and that's why everything's a suture. So I will try to start calling them stitches instead of sutures, honest. So where are we up to now? Row 7 to 9. We're going to single crochet in each stitch around. So that's 3 rows of 24. So this is where I will probably skip ahead and meet you back here when we've done our 3 rows. So pause your video now and see you in a bit. And there we have it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. 7 to 9 single crochet in each stitch around, 24. And then that's the end of the nose, because next we're going to change colour. But before we do that, what I want to do is close the magic circle and get rid of this tail, because it's getting on my nerves. So turn it inside out and pull nice and firmly so that it closes the whole look. And then you get your bodkin that comes with your kit, and you're going to go under the first stitch that you did. Thread your yarn, pull it through, and then leave a loop and pull the tail through the loop, and then you've got your locking stitch there, and then you see, and then trim that off to about 1 inch or more. Don't do it too short. If you cut these ends too short, they migrate through the work. So there we are. There we have it. It's starting to look like a nose actually, isn't it? Okay. So how do we change colour? So bring in our pink yarn. You have to do it in your last stitch. It's described in the special techniques, so you do it in your last stitch. There'll also be a how to crochet video as well to show you how to do it. And you go into your single crochet, both loops, and pick up your old colour yarn, the one that you're going to finish with, and then you chop it off. Okay, so that's that one finished with. And then you bring in your new yarn, pull a bit up, hold on to that loop nice and tightly, look, and finish your stitch with your new colour. Okay, then lay it down and tie 2 or 3 knots. Now, not too slack, but not too tight. I like happy mediums. So 1, 2, 3. If you do it too tight, it skews your stitches, and you'll know if you've done it too tight, because you'll have a really tight stitch. Cut it to about 1 inch, and there we go. So bring the pattern in, see what we're doing next. Now it says here, stuff the head as you go. Well, I don't think I've got enough yet. I'm not going to stuff it just yet. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do rows 10 to 19. So that's 10 rows at 24 stitches. So I'll probably start stuffing once we've got past that. So yarns at the front, take your marker to the back, and we're going to do 10 rows in the pink of the head. And you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Pause your video, guys, and I'll see you back here after 10 rows. And there we have it. 10 rows. So let's do a row check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Here's the pattern. 10 to 19, single crochet in each stitch around, 24 stitches in each row. So row 20, we're going to start decreasing. And it's going to be quite a rapid decrease, because we don't want a gradual decrease like the front of the nose. We want a rapid decrease so that there's a back to the head. I've already put some stuffing in, okay, because it said up there, stuff the head as you go. And I know that I'm going to need more stuffing later, but we can always do that after we've done a couple of rounds of decreases. So put the tail over there, and so single crochet by 2, invisible decrease 6 times. Now I have got a video in my how to crochet series teaching you how to do an invisible crochet. The link will be in the description down below, so go across and have a look and have a practice, okay? So we're gonna 1, 2, invisible decrease. Did you see what I did there? I did 1. Oops, no, the stuffing's trying to get in on the act now. 1, 2, and then into the front loop of your next 2 stitches that you want to decrease, through the 2 front loops, and then through the last 2. Okay, 1, 2, do that again, through the 2 front loops, pull the wool through there, and then through the last 2. Front loops, through 2 loops, through the last 2. Front loops, working yarn through 2, then through the last 2. And there's your last one. There we go. So there's your first row of decreases done. Row 21, single crochet by 1, invisible decrease by 6 times, and then you should end up with 12 stitches then. So 1 single crochet through both loops to decrease. 1 single crochet through both front loops, through 2, through 2 again. Single crochet, through 2, through 2 again. Nearly forgot my single crochet. We should have 3 left. Look, 1, 2, 3. So 1 single crochet through 2. If I'd got to the end of the row and I'd not realised that I missed that single crochet, you would have had too many stitches, so you would have known that you've gone wrong somewhere along there, and you just pull it back and find out where you went wrong. So there we are. I'm now going to stuff a little bit more stuffing into the head before we do the last decrease. There we go. Still need a bit more. Can't put any more in because I'm not going to be able to close the last 6 stitches. So the final row is row 22, invisible decrease 6 times, and you end up with 6 stitches left. So round to the front, there we go, front loops, two, three, four, 5, 6. Okay. And then when we finish, it says 1 chain, fasten off, leaving a long tail 20 centimeters, and then close your hole and bury the tail inside the head. So 1 chain to lock your stitch at 20 centimeters and pull it through, and that's a 1 chain fasten off. Now I don't need this anymore, so we can take that out. And then what we're going to do now is our final bit of stuffing. You see, I need to put a little bit more in these bits here. Okay. If you can still get your finger in, that's okay. But if you can't, don't worry about it. Just, I usually open my scissors just a little bit and use that like that. In fact, that's what I'm going to do because I can push it around this corner then. Okay. So off you go like that, look, and stuff it into this baggy back at the back of the head. And that's fine, I think. Okay, right, closing hole technique. Thread your yarn onto your bodkin. And what we're going to do, we're going to close it using these front loops only. And we're going to come in from the back. So you come in from the back under the front loop, and you need to do that 6 times. Five, 6, okay, and then pull your tail really tight. It closes your hole, look. And then you see this little piece of loop sticking up. Go over the top of that loop into the hole, and then bring your yarn out at the back. You'll see where the yarn is here. Look where the step is, where you joined your work, and that's the back of the head, so, or the bottom of the head. And then bring it through, and look how lovely and closed that is. Okay, and then to lock your yarn, we're going to just run it underneath a few of these V's, the stitches. There you go, like that. You can't see it, look. And then just bury your yarn inside again. Drop it short. And there you have your head with its lovely little nose. Okay, thank you for coming. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you've managed to get to this stage. If you haven't yet, don't worry, you've got plenty of time to do it, and you can watch the videos at your own pace. If you've not got a kit yet, why don't you nip across to my shop? The link's down below. Pick yourself a kit up, and then you can crochet along with us and have some fun like we're having. And then, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. See you later. Bye.